We've all heard it before. Time heals all wounds. It's what people say when they don't know how else to comfort you. It's what you tell yourself when you're trying to believe that the pain will one day just fade away. But here's the truth. Time itself doesn't heal anything. If it did, why do some people carry the same wounds for decades? Why do some never move on from their past? Time is just a measurement. It keeps moving, whether you heal or not. It's not time that heals. It's what you do within that time that determines whether you stay broken or grow stronger. The Stoics knew that waiting for healing was the wrong approach. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." What does this mean? It means that suffering isn't in the event, it's in how we interpret it. Two people can go through the same tragedy, yet one moves forward while the other remains trapped in sorrow. Why? Because healing is a mental process, not a passive one. Epictetus, a slave who became one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, understood this well. He taught that pain isn't caused by external events, but by how we perceive them. You don't suffer because of loss itself. You suffer because of the meaning you attach to that loss. Seneca, another Stoic thinker, warned against relying on time alone. He believed that unless you actively seek wisdom and train your mind, pain lingers indefinitely. You don't wake up one day and suddenly feel better. You must shape your own healing through reason and self-discipline. If time alone doesn't heal, then what does? The Stoics give us 3 key lessons. 1. Perspective shift. Reframing pain as growth. You cannot erase pain, but you can change what it means to you. Instead of seeing heartbreak as a loss, see it as proof that you were capable of love. Instead of viewing failure as defeat, see it as a lesson that sharpens you for the future. Instead of wishing things had gone differently, accept that they happened and decide what to do next. You either make your suffering fuel for growth or you let it consume you. The choice is yours. 2. Action over waiting. The danger of avoidance. Many people assume healing means sitting still, waiting for the pain to fade. But avoidance makes things worse. If you avoid addressing grief, it turns into resentment. If you ignore your mistakes, they repeat themselves. If you dwell on the past without action, you become a prisoner of your own mind. The Stoics teach that true healing comes from facing your pain head-on. Journaling, meditation, or even just accepting what happened instead of resisting it, these are the things that create healing. 3. Self-mastery, controlling reactions. Instead of being controlled, you may not control what happened to you, but you always control how you respond. Instead of anger, choose understanding. Instead of despair, choose purpose. Instead of waiting for time to fix things, take responsibility for your own healing. The more control you have over your mind, the less control pain has over you. To make these principles real, let's look at someone who embodied them. Example: Admiral James Stockdale. During the Vietnam War, Admiral James Stockdale was captured and spent over 7 years in a brutal prisoner of war camp. He was tortured, isolated, and faced with daily suffering. But he survived, mentally and physically, by applying Stoic philosophy. Stockdale didn't wait for time to heal him. Instead, he took control of his mind by refusing to see himself as a victim. He found meaning in his suffering and used it to keep himself and his fellow prisoners strong. When asked how he survived, he said, "I never lost faith in the end of the story. I confronted the brutal facts of my reality, but never lost hope." This is what true healing looks like. Not waiting for time to erase pain, but confronting it with discipline, purpose, and resilience. So let me ask you, are you waiting for time to heal you, or are you taking control of your own recovery? Because here's the truth, Nothing changes until you do. Time isn't your savior. You are. If you're struggling with loss, shift your perspective. If you're stuck in the past, take action to move forward. If pain is weighing you down, master your own mind. Time does not heal, you do. Now the question is, what will you do with your time?